What's he doing?
He keeps trying to get up in the camera.
Hello, I'm John.
And I'm Nancy.
And welcome in, Amber.
Yes.
Hi.
Forgot to say we are J&N Travels.
That's right. We are J&N Travels, correct. This is kind of a last-minute decision. As most of you know, we're down in Florida for 3 months, and my children were down here for 2 weeks and just left a couple days ago to go north, and we did 2 weeks of Disney with them. I planned most of the 3 months down here, but we handed over the parks to my daughter, and as she's showing us stuff that she put together and talking to us about the strategy she used for us doing the parks, we thought instead of just writing it down, maybe we'd have a live because it might help out some other people, right?
Yeah, because there is a science to this.
Right.
And I mean, if you want to, see most of the attractions, there is a right way to do it, right?
Well, I grew up you just go to amusement park when I was younger. And then as we get adults, we realize you really have to plan it out if you want to get the full value.
You do.
So we welcome in Amber, and we're going to discuss some of those strategies. This probably won't be a long live, but we thought some of you might be able to use it as reference. So before we do that, we'd like to welcome in Gabby Christian.
Hi,
Thank
Gabby.
you for joining us. Paul Vines.
Hi, Paul.
And Billy J. Travels.
Billy J. Travels. All right. Welcome in.
So, Amber, when you were planning this process for Disney World, what was the strategy you used to start out?
Yeah, so I use a bunch of different things. Of course, there's the internet, Googling, what best days and times to be at the parks. There's also the new Disney Genie service. I don't know if you can see that here.
This is on your phone.
Yeah, can you see that?
Yes, a little bit, yeah.
So it's a new app that Disney launched. I don't know how long ago. It's not super old. So it's a big learning curve, I think, for a lot of people. But it's called Disney Genie. They have two versions of it, Disney Genie, and then there's Disney's Genie Plus. Genie is free, and that's what we used a lot for the trip to help kind of plan the day. You can kind of pick what day that you're going to the park right on the app, and then you can see all the wait times for all the rides. I can show you here under the tip board. You can kind of see here it shows the standby times for everything. So it's a really good, useful tool to look at when you're planning out your day. You can look at it in advance too. So if you know you're going to a park the next day, you can kind of look at the wait times the previous day and kind of pick and choose the best times to see some rides based on the wait times. So we use that a lot for all 4 parks. We use just the Genie. We didn't use Genie Plus at all, though I do think it could be a valuable tool.
Before you get into that, Amber, what we were doing, my wife and I didn't have our glasses. It's a small phone screen. So basically, my son and daughter were carrying around their phones
Yeah.
and constantly looking at updates and stuff like that. Welcome in, Meg.
Hi, Meg.
Go ahead, Amber. Continue on.
Yeah, so like I said, it was a useful tool to us. Definitely a learning curve, and definitely I would recommend portable battery chargers if you're gonna be using this all day, because it eats your battery while you're kind of walking around with it. But so we just use, like I said, the regular Genie service, and we didn't use the Plus at all. The Genie Plus, I do think it is beneficial. You do have to pay for it. It's $15 for the day. If you do have a park hopper pass, meaning you can go to multiple parks in one day, the Genie Plus will transfer with you. So you don't need to buy it. If you have a hopper pass and you're going to multiple parks, you can use Genie that one time for the multiple parks. You don't have to buy it for every park, just like a per day type of thing. And with doing that, you can select rides kind of like the old Fast Pass system. So you can pick rides and sign up for them, and they give you a window of time. And by doing so, you can cut the line and you get on the ride faster. There are some kind of, I don't know, bad parts of it, I guess. I don't think it's necessary for all the parks, because there's certain rides that you can't use it for, and you have to purchase different rides separately. So, for instance, there's some popular rides over at Hollywood Studios, like the Rise of Resistance, the new Star Wars ride. You can't actually use Genie Plus for that. So if you're purchasing Genie Plus just to be able to skip the line for those rides that, I think, what was the standard wait time? Over 2 hours usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're purchasing it just for that, it's not beneficial to you, because you won't get to use it. So what you have to do for those rides, that there's like 2 rides per park that you can't use Genie Plus on. You can only use individual lightning lanes on those, which are, you can purchase them separately. So if there's a ride you really, really wanted to see that had a long line, you can purchase that ride. It's called a lightning lane. You can skip the line and go all the way up to the top.
And how much is the lightning line?
So the lightning lane depends on what ride it is, depends on what day that you purchase it. They can run anywhere from $7 to $15. So, for example, Rise of the Resistance was a very popular ride at Hollywood Studios. That one, if you wanted to jump the line, you'd have to pay $15 for. But there's some that were only $7, like older rides like Space Mountain. You could use a lightning lane on and pay $7 and skip the line.
So basically, it's 3 tiers. Your first tier is just what we did. You stand by, you wait in a standby line.
Yeah.
Your second tier, you pay $15 a day for whatever park you're going into. You only have to do it for that one day if you want, per person. And you're allowed to go on all but 2 rides. Then your third tier is an additional fee, which is for 2, we used to call them in our day the e-ticket rides, 2 of the main rides. And some of those were in the Star Wars. The Star Wars had the Resistance ride, and what was the other one in that park? Do you remember? It wasn't the Slinky Dog, right? That's part of the lower tier, the middle tier.
It was the Runaway Railroad.
Yeah, that's
Runaway Railroad. Okay, so those would be the 2. Without going through all the parks, you can look into that in advance. But it can get very pricey, because if you want all of that, say we went into the studios, you have to pay $15 plus an additional $15 for just the Resistance. And do you remember what it was for that day for the Mickey Railroad? I forget what it was, $8 or something?
I think it was $11.
$11. Okay, so it can run you a lot of
Yeah,
money
I can.
in addition to your daily thing. So that's what it is. It's like a 3-tier system, depending on what you want. And what Amber recommends, and she was telling us for the trip, is you don't really need it for all 4 parks. The 2 parks you referenced were what, Amber?
So I recommend it for Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, because they have the most attractions at those parks that you would need to use Genie Plus for. Using it for Epcot and Animal Kingdom isn't really beneficial, because we were able to get on, and this is just speaking for this time of year, but we were able to get on all the rides we wanted to go on at both Epcot and Animal Kingdom with very little wait times. other than the main big new attractions like the Avatar ride. But again, you can't use Genie Plus on those main new attractions. So it wouldn't make any sense to do that. So I would definitely recommend it for Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios because there's a lot more rides to be able to utilize it for. Another thing you do have to be careful, and there is more strategy with it. Now we didn't have it, so I don't know exactly how we would work it, but you can book your first Genie Plus attraction at 7 a.m. And then you can't book anything else until your 2-hour window has passed. So you really need to be in the park all day to utilize it well and to get on as most rides as you can, because like I said, you can't go on another ride until your 2-hour window has passed. You can't even book a ride until that 2-hour window has passed.
Right. We found out, we waited in one queue of 75 minutes. I think it was the Space Mountain. And after that, Nancy and I decided we weren't going to wait in these long lines. So Amber and my son Johnny went on what's the Pandora Rites of Passage? You waited in that queue.
Flight of Passage.
Flight of Passage.
Yeah.
You always say Rites of Passage.
And we got on to did something else that day. And what was the secondary ride was
we waited 57 minutes for Rise of the Resistance. That wasn't too bad.
no. And that was because Raphael had told us it was a great ride.
Yeah, and he was right about it. Hi, Raphael. You were right about it. It was a great ride.
That was a fantastic ride.
So we really enjoyed it.
But what was the other one you went on that we did not go on? You remember what it was? It was at Epcot, right?
Frozen.
Yeah, so those are the two we didn't join them with. But the others, rather two, we were surprised. We decided because we had to do it, we waited in about now. No, it said 80 minutes or 75 minutes, but it only took us,
I think it was 45
minutes. Yeah. And then we did another, just jump into one of your tips. We waited till the last ride of the night and get on it
right away.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Amber, continue.
Yeah, so I mean that's just my thought on the whole Genie Plus. The lightning lanes, again, I feel like could be beneficial if you utilize it correctly for a certain ride. However, they make it almost impossible to kind of do that if you're not staying on Disney property, because you can only book the window again opens at 7 a.m. to book those big attractions like the Star Wars ride. And it opens at 7 a.m. But if you're not staying on Disney property, you don't have access to book that ride until 9 a.m. And by that time, all the lightning lanes are sold out for the day. And that's happened. We tried to book it to see and to do a lightning lane, and it's not even possible to get in. So I'm sure that will change eventually as the ride fades and it's not as new. But any new rides that you think maybe I'll just purchase the lightning lane for that one ride and skip the line, it's kind of impossible. Even if you are on Disney property, you have to be on it at exactly 7 a.m. to even have a chance to get a lightning lane for the attraction.
Yeah, because we were in line. The park hadn't opened yet, and lines were an hour long, meaning it was basically an hour long for people in the hotels before we even got on there. And a couple of people in the chat had mentioned the single rider line. We didn't see a lot of these, but we did it for Test Track with an hour wait and got on at 5. It took 5 minutes to walk through the queue.
Yeah, it was great. We all got on, and we ended up riding together, as it turned out, even though we were in the season.
Yeah, I remember growing up, there was always single rider lines, it seemed, as at every attraction, but we didn't see a lot this time. I don't know if it's almost like they took the single rider line and made it like the Lightning Genie Plus area for most of the attractions, at least the bigger ones. But yeah, Test Track was great. We were all able to walk on. My brother and I did it twice because we were just able to walk right back on. So,
and that's something I think in the future, I recommend people line up the rides that have a single rider line in advance. So so you can go right on those.
We got more people in the house. Let's see. Billy J. Travel says, I love to take advantage of single rider lines. Yeah.
Raphael says the same.
Yeah.
And well, we did the thing. Test Track was not a new ride for our family, so we didn't feel we had to be in the.
Florida is here. Hi, KBJ Florida.
You're a few miles across town.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Karen.
So what were you saying? I'm sorry. You said we always like
Yeah,
to take
so
a
we like
ride,
to do it
yeah.
on the first ride to
Yeah,
experience it, but we
yeah.
have done test tracks,
Yeah,
so
we have
we
done
didn't
that
care.
before,
And you and
yeah.
me got in the same car, and the
We
kids got in
did.
the
We
same
got in the
car.
same car, and the kids did too. Yeah, it was great.
So go ahead, Amber,
I would
continue.
have liked to have done Soarin' again, but that ride still had a long wait.
Welcome to Najuma.
Hi, Najuma.
Yeah, so I don't know, did you have any other questions or anything about the Disney Genie service before we move on to the Lightning Lane?
If anyone in chat has a question, the basic summary, I'll just say once again for anyone who just popped in, is it's a 3-tier system. Standby is the first one.
Mhm.
This is when people who are not staying in the Disney hotels. Standby is the first one. The second one is you pay for a Genie Plus, which is includes all the rides except for the 2 main rides in the park. And those 2 rides, you have to pay an additional fee per ride to ride on them. The highest amount we saw, right, was 15, and the lowest I think was, did we see them for
7.
5? 7 was the lowest.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 tiers, and I guess that's it for the Genie. The Genie is very helpful. If no one has it on their phone or doesn't think they can use it,
And there's
it's
no
very
cost
helpful.
to the Genie.
Right. The kids are monitoring it all day, and it tells the updated length of the wait for the rides, but
Yeah.
it also gives a trend, right, for the day, like if
Yeah.
that ride together in the afternoon or the morning or something like that.
Yeah, so it gave a trend, which was pretty accurate. The wait times we felt were all a little bit inflated. I don't know if it was, so people aren't waiting longer and getting upset if there was a discrepancy in time, or if they want more people to buy Genie Plus and Lightning Lanes, but they definitely were all inflated. But yeah, the app was very helpful, definitely a learning curve. So I know some people are frustrated with the app, and I know when it first launched, it had a lot of glitches, but we really didn't find any glitches. It was more of a help to us. There's also a virtual map you can use and find out. You can click on a ride and you can see where it is on the map to help you find the attraction. You can look at restaurants. We made restaurant reservations through the app, as well as our park reservations and our park tickets. Everything we needed was through the app. That's actually through the My Disney Experience app. And then the Genie service is like a portion in the app. But I found the whole app pretty helpful the whole trip.
It was.
Yeah.
Jump in the chat for a second. Raphael asked if we did Slinky Dog. We checked Slinky Dog all day, and what was it, 80 minutes?
Always 80.
Never
Yeah,
went
I
under
know.
80
No,
minutes?
it didn't go.
I would
No,
like-
yeah.
Would have liked to have done it, but
Right.
I'm just.
Yeah, I never went down, and that one is included in the Genie Plus. So if I were to redo a couple of the parks, I would have gotten Genie Plus, like I said, for Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom. And that would have been a ride that we could have been able to do, but it was a little bit of a learning curve for us this time.
And JP Florida says not willing to pay, happy to wait in lines. We did the same.
We did. Yep.
Maybe next time if we're there for sure that we got the 6-day pass, maybe we would do it for the studios. We probably wouldn't do it ourselves with Magic Kingdom.
No.
We'd do it for the studios,
Yeah.
definitely. And I have a question for you. You guys are down here, I'm not sure if it's a week or not. What do you usually get for a length of pass that you go for the parks? And welcome in Happy Life with Mariah Hyatt. Thank you
And
for
I think
joining
I
us.
see Car Key in the house.
Carol,
Car.
welcome in.
Yeah, welcome in. Hi, Mariah.
See, any other questions?
Yeah, I mean,
They waited 60 minutes for Slinky Dog.
60.
Yeah, and welcome in Courtney Shannis Reviews. Thank you for coming
Hey,
in.
Courtney.
Okay, so did you want us to ask you a question, Amber? You have something moving into
No,
right
I was just looking back at the fast moving line comment by Vizzo's Travel. Yeah, the Disney does a great job, I feel like, as moving people along in the queues and not making it seem like you're waiting in line, because everything usually go through multiple different rooms and multiple queues that are disguised into something else, something that's giving you entertainment. Everything's themed. So the lines did move pretty fast, I thought, even with the crowds that we kind of hit.
Yeah, okay. KPJP are annual holders. And as I've complained many times, that was our big downfall. Down here for 3 months, and we couldn't get an annual pass. So this must have been a renewal. So we're hoping maybe next year we'll be able to get that. That would make life so much easier. We would probably go there almost every other day,
Oh,
and
yeah.
even just for 2 or 3 hours.
But Amber mentioned something about with the Genie Plus being able to do hopper passes, but I thought they didn't do hopper passes anymore. I thought that was discontinued.
I didn't hear her say. What were you saying, Amber, about the
No,
hopper
you
pass?
can still buy hopper passes. We don't buy them, but
You can still buy hopper
park
passes.
hoppers, yeah, you can still buy
Okay.
them.
Okay. For some reason, I thought they discontinued that. I don't know. I must have
No,
misunderstood
it's
something.
not included or anything.
Oh, I
It's
see.
everything's an
Oh,
added fee.
oh, I get it.
Welcome
Okay.
in, welcome in. Oh, I didn't know that. Mariah has never done the theme parks down here in
Oh,
Florida.
Mariah, you got to do them. Definitely.
Yeah, a lot of cute images of the game being created. Love the line. Disney knows how to. They do. Their cues on some things are not. I'm not gonna say they're better than the rides, but they certainly keep you entertained through the whole thing. It was a quick funny story. We waited in the line to get on the Rise of Resistance, and because I heard that it was real good, and we get into one of the queues. They had like several queues,
Yeah.
which was a replica ship. You stand in it, and they have some great visuals, like the ship is flying in the front of the ship and the back of the ship. Well, we couldn't
Right.
see it because people
Couldn't
stand
see
in front
it.
of it,
Yeah.
and thought this was the ride, and
I
got
was like,
really
we hope it's
discouraged with
not.
it, right? And then finally we got into the real ride. So
Yeah,
they
which
do
was
a great
awesome.
job of layering. You said they did the same thing in the Pandora ride, correct, Amber?
The same, the different queues, you mean?
Yeah, with different cues.
The Flight of
Yeah,
Passage.
Flight of Passage had many different rooms and queues as well, and they were all super entertaining. They like made you into an avatar and did the whole face recognition and put you in different rooms and had you move around and have you do different things that kept you entertained, so that it didn't feel like an hour and a half wait or whatever we waited. It felt like a lot shorter.
Right.
But it was an hour and a half for that ride.
I think it was 75 minutes, was it?
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I thought you told us it was about 80 minutes.
Or 80 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost
That's
an hour and a half.
now.
JP said we renewed. Yes, it was a nightmare. They stopped it just so we wanted to get an AP for our son, so he
Oh.
couldn't. Now I'm surprised with two members of the family having it that they wouldn't be a little flexible.
Yeah.
We went through a lot down here. I was on the phone with them. We sent emails back and forth. No one would budge. We went to the ticket center someone recommended at Magic Kingdom twice. Hopefully we would get a sympathetic person. They wouldn't budge, so they've been holding
Yeah.
this pretty strict.
I think the longest line that you and I waited for was Space Mountain, which was 70 minutes, and that queue wasn't very entertaining.
No, that's an old-fashioned queue, one of the
it was an
original
old-fashioned
rides.
queue, yeah. But the ride was fun. I still love Space Mountain.
Go ahead, Amber.
Yeah, you can ask me another question if you
Okay.
want.
All right, so you covered the Genie, and we covered, let's just quickly go through, based on the knowledge that you read and research, the best parks on the best days. You have anything to say on that? Which park-
So when we went, we knew we went partly over the whole marathon weekend of Disney, and then our second half of the trip was right in between the end of the marathon and the start of the Festival of the Arts over at Epcot. So we kind of knew our crowds were going to be a little heavier, at least at the beginning. And everything, I just use the internet a lot for searches and Instagram. I follow a lot of different bloggers and influencers on Instagram that are kind of pop around the parks and give Disney tips and tricks and all that. For everything I read and researched, we knew we were going into a heavier time crowd wise, at least for the first week. I would say the second week was definitely less crowded, but it was heavier than typical at this time. Also because of the 50th anniversary celebration, it's just going to be kind of a busy year for Disney, and a lot of people that had canceled or pushed off trips because of the virus in the past are going this year. So it was definitely a little bit of a crowded time, but not like it was. I didn't think it was unmanageable at all. But usually this time and towards the end of January is a lower time to as far as crowds go to visit Disney. And then I also heard March too is what people were saying, March. And then anytime a festival is not going on or marathon or the holidays, just those are times to avoid. I know our last park day was Thursday, and the Festival of the Arts started on Friday, and I know that was a really busy, crowded day. So, and we had no crowds on Thursday when we hit Epcot, so you can just tell there that those things influence the crowd calendar.
And not to mention those popcorn buckets.
Yeah, the popcorn buckets too.
Had to get those popcorn buckets. So are there any days of the week that you would recommend or say are bad for any of the parks just in general?
So we based ours on just the crowd calendars that you can Google and see what days are more or less crowded. In my research, it said that Epcot was the favorite park for a lot of pass holders, so that was typically more crowded on the weekends. So it said to avoid Epcot on the weekends and do that more towards during the week, and that actually the reverse for Hollywood Studios, that Hollywood Studios, the best time to go there is on the weekend. So I'm not really sure why. That's just what I read. We didn't go. What did we do? We did one day during the week at Hollywood Studios. Both days were during the week. So we only did one park on the weekend, Animal Kingdom, on a Saturday, which I didn't think that was very crowded either.
And it tends to be after the marathon. Isn't February in March? When does spring break start? I mean, February is supposed to be dead, at least in the past. But.
Yep, they said like end of January, February, and is dead, and then March as well but you want to avoid February vacation week and March, the spring break week for colleges.
Right. Okay. Okay. So those are the months. Those are the days of the week. Let me see. Lightning. So it looks like, the other thing that you had recommended to us was if you are going to do the major attractions and you're not going to pay for the additional stuff, we should be there. Basically, we did rope drop in the morning and came home for lunch and then went back to a close. And you had recommended the bigger rides to try and do one in the morning and one or two of those, right?
Yeah. So in my experience, getting to the park early and rope dropping, getting in line before, and everyone does the vacation is different, but getting in line before they actually open the park, that way you're one of the, first few hundred that are let into the park, is going straight towards one of the bigger attractions. I don't know if I'd say like the biggest attraction, because everyone ran to Rise of the Resistance and it just skyrocketed the wait time. But there's other bigger attractions like Rock and Roll Coaster or Tower of Terror, like those type of things that you can get in line and, get on the ride in 20, 30 minutes if you go straight there. So you're kind of getting one or two big rides out of the way in the morning that are going to have longer wait times in the afternoon. And that way you're freeing up your time later, more towards closing of the park, to do those rides, the newer rides that have the 2 or 3 hour wait times, because at the end of the night, a lot of people are gone, or a lot of the parks have shows. Like I know Epcot has Harmonious, or Magic Kingdom has the fireworks enchantment. So those are times that you're going to see wait times all lower, and you can get in line there if you don't want to see the shows. So like we did like Hollywood Studios twice. So one of the nights we spent watching Harmonia, or they didn't have one there, but what was that show called?
It was just the projections on the movies. Yeah, it was a show.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it, but yeah, we spent one night watching that. That way, the next time a lot of people go towards that show and you can get on some of the rides at the end of the night.
No, and that's a good point. If you go for the middle of the road rides, we were heading to the Resistance, and then you notice the wait had jumped up to well over an hour. Mm-hmm. So we hit Star Tours, Muppets, and something else all within an hour.
Yeah.
And got those out of the way. And then another time we came in, we headed right to the Tower of Terror and we all did the Rock and Roll Roller Coaster, and you guys went off to the Beauty and the Beast
Yeah,
show.
we did the Beauty
Rock.
and the Beast, right?
Yeah, we did the Tower of
Yeah,
Terror. So you
right.
can do it that way and really cut down the time.
Yeah.
Let me just
Yeah.
read.
So
in the
yeah, and
chat.
by that way you. Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Amber.
because when we came
I
back,
lost about Raphael. So we lost about 2 hours of fun because I could not find my credit cards. I had to go to customer service.
oh
Thank goodness they
no,
found them on the floor of the car.
oh good,
But
Oh
was
man.
that'd
scary.
be
That
the
is so
scariest thing.
scary. Yeah.
Parents says Disney customer service is different to how it was a few years ago. Lots of sparkle. It has lost a lot. We could tell you stories another time of the way that Disney customer service reached that extra 9 yards or whatever. Doesn't seem like it's going there anymore.
No.
Let's see.
Remember-
Mariah says one theme park in my hometown I've been to Silver. Oh, that is so many people have gone to that Silver Dollar City,
Yeah, that
Lincoln
looks
and
a lot of
Branson.
fun. Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun.
So many. Actually, that's out.
Missouri.
Yeah, that's out Raphael's direction though. Karen, let's see, scary. Okay, that's a case where they lost their cards too.
Oh, geez, that is a scary feeling.
Karen says Saturday and Sunday busy. Also says Universal Studios parks are a lot lighter. We heard that. We've been debating if we want to try and get a pass to go there or not. So
Yeah.
you do recommend the crowds at Universal right now? And Mariah says spring break in March.
But avoid spring break. Spring break.
Right off the winter park now. Chill, good chat. Well, you have a good day. Thank you. All right. So, Amber, you were saying something? We want to finish up?
I don't know what I was saying.
I'm sorry for interrupting you. So that basically covers everything. We did the Genie. We tell people use that app. It's very handy. Do your research and check on the parks that might be more busy a particular day. For a quick example, we did Animal Kingdom because it was the furthest park away from the marathon on Sunday. I don't know
Saturday.
No, the marathon was Sunday.
Oh, the marathon was Sunday. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But we did the park Saturday, so we're
right.
figuring that was the half marathon.
Right.
So do your research. It will help. Any final words you want to say, Amber, on this?
No, I don't think so. I mean, yeah, like you said, I think the app and Genie and all that is a great addition. Like I said, it glues you to your phone a little bit, but I feel like everything is like that now, so it's nothing different. But I liked it, and I would definitely keep using it. And I think there's probably a lot more to it, a lot other benefits that we just haven't discovered yet. But it'd be interesting to keep playing around with it.
Amber also had all our tickets on her phone.
Yeah.
Which worked out well, but we're just cringing every time we went through. She'd open up her phone and scan it in, and each one of us would put our fingerprint on it, and that worked very well.
Yeah.
And saved time. The lines moved pretty quick coming through
They
check-in.
did.
You can get a paper copy if you need to. Here, let me blow that up, Amber. Where is it? Can I find her? I thought I was going to blow it up, but that's weird. Okay, well, is that a picture of the?
Yeah, that's my actual ticket, and yeah, you just hold it.
That's her ticket. You can get a paper printout, but
they just hold it near the car reader, and you put your finger on the little fingerprint, and then you're good to go. And I had all 4 of our tickets there, so I would just be first in line and scan all my family's tickets, and we didn't have any issues. Disney now is doing like a reservation system, so you do have to have a ticket, and you also have to have a park reservation to enter. I believe that was a COVID protocol, but I don't know if they'll keep that or not. But we didn't book ours since it wasn't a super prime time, even though it was really more crowded than we thought. But we didn't book our park reservations till about 2 weeks before we went, and everything was still available. I know when we did go to Magic Kingdom that the park was at capacity, so they do fill up. So you want to make sure you get your reservations in. But you can cancel them as long as you do it up to the day before. You can cancel a reservation at one park and move them to a different park, which we did a few times. We moved our schedule around. So, canceled Hollywood Studios on Saturday and moved it to a Sunday or whatever you needed to do.
But you do have to stay at the same park that day. And we did get asked when we went through the parking booth if we had a reservation for that park, which we did. But we did notice one family. I was wondering how they would handle it. There was one family, maybe twice I saw this, where they were at the wrong park in the reservation and they wouldn't let them in. They sent them to the right park. So you do have to be cautious of all this. Make sure you get the right park and the right ticket and all that stuff, because like it was said earlier, their customer service isn't as friendly or accommodating as before, and they're very stringent. So anything else you need to say, Amber, or is that it?
No, I don't think so. I think that was it.
And Meg thanks you for the research you did, and Mariah either likes your Mickey ears or wants some Mickey ears, one or the other.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, Amber, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you very much, Amber.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we had a wonderful trip with you and
We
Johnny
did.
down
We had
here.
a wonderful trip. We miss you guys. Wish you were here still.
And wish we had a picture. She sent us some pictures of all the snow and cold weather up where she is in New Hampshire now.
Yeah.
And we're still sitting here short. So on that note, we thank everyone for coming in.
I don't know if you can see that.
Wait, let me just.
That's going to blow it up.
Blow it up a minute here. Okay.
Whoa.
That's her yard right now.
Oh, boy.
It is pretty.
We dropped 75 degrees in the matter of 2 hours, leaving Florida and at 75 and coming home to New Hampshire at 0 in the matter of 2 hours. So it was rough.
Yeah,
that is a rough change of weather.
All right. Well, we'd like to say goodbye to everyone. Thank you very much for coming in on this impromptu interview with Amber.
Appreciate you all.
And hopefully we'll see you on our live later this week or next week.
Yes.
So have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a magical day, everyone.